I leave this job with a sense of work unfulfilled, because the world is a worse place now than when I joined up in 2021. Humanitarian diplomacy is both an opportunity for us to do good for the world, but also, in its ubiquity, is a reminder of the absence of classic political diplomacy. In Sudan, we see the absence still of efforts to stop that conflict. We are desperately worried about Al-Fasher, 800,000 civilians at risk there.
On behalf of the United Nations,
the humanitarian situation in Sudan has grown worse, and it is a place where two men basically decided that they were going to resolve their differences through fighting, that they were going to take the country down, that we have a situation where highly likely we will have up to 5 million Sudanese people at risk of famine.
Correspondents Association.
We're not winning on ending conflicts. We hoped for Yemen. I hope for Yemen. We hope for Yemen. That's going backwards right now. But it's essentially because the attention and commitment to the use of negotiation and dialogue to end conflict is a trait, a norm, a commitment, which is now no longer an essential component in international diplomacy.
For doing this briefing, and I know.
So we are not resolving conflicts. We are not using dialogue where we had committed ourselves to using dialogue. And the founders of the UN, back in 1945, in those words of the Charter, saving subsequent generations from the scourge of war, we're failing them. Right, left, and center.
Mr. Griffith, with China Central Television.
How can you plan for a humanitarian operation under the circumstances that we face? And the answer is you can't. We know what we need, and we know what we haven't got. We need fuel, and it's not being brought in great numbers. We need truckloads of food that get through. You heard about the terrible events of Saturday when a World Food Programme convoy was looted, including now trucks being taken away. Never mind the food that's on them. And it wasn't just food, it was also other nutritional items. We know that there's only one hospital left in the south, which is open, and people can't get to it.
A follow-up on the situation in Gaza.
We've called for a humanitarian ceasefire for months. This is not a new ask. We've called for safety and security on these routes for months. We've called for clarity about international humanitarian law, and we've called for embedding our own planners and people with the Israeli Defense Forces so that we can make sure that our movements are safe. And we've all lost, the NGOs, the UN, have all lost people as a result of the absence of those conditions.
You were speaking about this aid convoy that...
We need to have a much more aggressive approach to impunity. We cannot allow this to keep happening. Nobody has been found liable for the killing of humanitarian aid workers in Gaza. Nobody has been found liable for the attacks on health facilities in Gaza or in Ukraine or in Sudan. Thank you very much.